have not gone live in a while. Okay, so I wanted to go live yesterday to tell you everything about my new offer, She's Magnetic, the birth of it, and not just to talk about the offer itself, but I think most importantly, I wanted to make it to share, the experience of coming up and like how exactly it came about, because I think it's going to help you on the other side, like understand how sometimes life and business will lead you into evolving in a certain way that maybe you had no vision from in the beginning of your business or in the beginning of a certain offer. And I think I shared yesterday or the day before, I cannot remember, in my Instagram channel that just you have to just trust the unfolding of your business and unfolding of your life. And the thing is that you cannot know how things are going to unfold unless you walk the path. The unfolding happens in the path, and a lot of times, because we are humans and we love certainty, right? We want to know all the steps, every single step. Tell me all the steps. How am I gonna go from 0 to successful, right? How am I gonna go to 0 to 10K months, to 20K months, to 100,000 a year, to 500, to blah, blah, all the stuff. At some point you realize that it's not a straight line. It's gonna take a lot of trial and error. And then, your vision and the why that is pulling you forward, then that's its thing, which is pulling you forward through the ups and downs, through the twists and turns, through the up levels, the evolutions of you that translate into how your offers evolve. And I just think that for us entrepreneurs who are impact driven, who are coaches or course creators, or anyone that is whose business is one that impacts the world, with your expertise or your experiences or your wisdom or your own breakthroughs that then became wisdom and then you share. For us in particular, what is going to happen is that we're going to evolve as human beings, and our businesses end up evolving with us. So here's the little little story. I'm just going to make it as short as possible, but I also wanted to this is also for my clients in Rewiring related to my effects, because they were asking, it's we're kind of confused because is this a new offer? Is it a rebrand, and all the questions are going to be answered here. Okay. So if you have been following me for at least a year, and even I would say the last 6 months, you know that one of my programs is called Rewiring Related to 5X. I have been selling it. It's like my one signature, or it was my one signature group program. And I started selling it in March last year. I put people through it. I tested all these different things. I had so many freaking doubts about but what am I going to do? How is it going to work? Because initially I wanted to do it cohort based, but then I realized that if I want to ramp up and put more people through, it was better for me to be able to launch more often. So I made it so that at any point in time, somebody could come in and they could find what they needed to work through their whatever internal holdbacks they were having, that were coming up as any shape or form, but in particular, I cover this, what I call 8 saboteurs of business success, that I would call the thieves of your joy as well, so I map out throughout the years. I have worked with entrepreneurs since 2018. So throughout the years, I start noticing patterns. Obviously, I am an entrepreneur myself, and I have had every single internal holdback that you can imagine, all the doubts, all the fears, all the freakouts, launch free falls. I mean, you name it, neediness, attachment to outcomes, disappointments, failures, so much rejection, I have gone through it all, so in that process, plus in the process of coaching entrepreneurs and coaches for all these years, I started noticing patterns. I love structuring things, that's one thing that I love doing. So I just saw the patterns. I was there is 8 different saboteurs, that getting people's ways from scaling their businesses, getting more clients, but also enjoying their businesses, and not being at the mercy of their emotions, their ups and downs, and just totally dysregulated and leading to burnout, right? So once I mapped those out, I was like, this is great. Rewired and regulated is going to be called like that. It's rewired and regulated to 5x, because it was everything about like rewiring the things that are like your internal holdbacks, regulating your nervous system and regulating your nervous system to hold more, to basically step into the vision of that version of you that is creating the business exactly as you want it. And it's not just about making the money, having the impact, but also enjoying the ish out of the process, because I mean, I don't know about you, but I didn't freaking quit. And I say this all the time, my former career, to just hate my business and not enjoy it, and be stressed out and feel all this pressure, and just like be all stressed out and unhappy, like, so to me it was absolutely important and necessary to include that in this rewiring regulation that we do. We don't just spot the things that are holding back your sales, like signing more clients and increasing your impact and your visibility and stepping into your leadership, but also how about, expanding your capacity to enjoy your business and your life, So all of that was in there. And as you can imagine, if you hear all of that, I basically, never wanted to have more than one offer. I just wanted to have one signature offer that I sell all the time. I am known for it, and then that's it. That was my plan. But life had other plans for me. So anyways, here is where enter, the twist and turn. So anyways, as I was saying, I sold that offer for like, yeah, exactly a year, like from March last year to March this year, and yeah, and I mean, it was fine, but I realized in the process that the clients that initially started, like in the beginning, they overcame their main holdbacks, right? And the transfer, like the thing, kind of like that, the support that they needed shifted, so that program became more like River Revelated, became naturally shifted to helping entrepreneurs that are already showing up consistently, that are already going for it, and they are growing, like at a faster pace. They are launching every week, launching every other week, launching every month, launching like, like kind of often. They're like selling all the time, marketing all the time, and they are experiencing the normal like growing pains, that any entrepreneurs would like experience, right? And also constraints, right? And by that, I mean, like, for example, it's like when you are growing really fast, you're going to notice that at some point, it's like if you're a one woman show or one man show, right? It's going to be really hard to continue growing. You're going to have to delegate. And most of the people that I work with, have some control issues, like they just want to do everything themselves, or like they feel weird about asking for help, or like they don't know how to, right? Like delegate and what it is. And there's a lot of like mind stuff as well, but I have worked with with a VA before, and it didn't work and what it is. So there's that type of constraints, but there's also like still fears of holding space for more clients, right? And feeling the weight and responsibility of holding space for more clients, more team members, salaries, all these different things, So I realized that in working with clients, there was two distinct type of client. The client that was really stuck in the, like in imposter syndrome, in fear of being seen, in fear of failure, where like they were really held back by those things. And that was really stopping them from increasing their revenue. And there's also like very specific money beliefs that are connected to self-worth, connected to identity. Who am I to be charging that? Nobody's going to want to pay me that, blah, 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 all these different things. And also just mindsets that needed to shift at a foundational level as it relates to their relationship with their business and showing up, their relationship with selling, their relationship with appearing on social media, talking to the camera, being seen, right? Like, so I started noticing, it's like, I feel like this like big program is trying to do too many things for people that are in different stages, So I was just like something, the math was not mathing, something was not fully clicking, And I just didn't see the kind of like that, the differentiator until end of March this year, you know, I was kind of feeling like, I feel like there's something that I am not seeing. There's something in here that I am missing in terms of like the transformation that I needed to get more clear about. That it was kind of like in my face, but not fully in my face. That I could just see the crystal clear distinction between these two people, you know, these two avatars of clients that I serve and that I love serving also, right? But also the transformation that each needed. But it has been becoming, it was like looking back, it was becoming clearer and clearer that I had like more or less like three avatars, you know, since the beginning of the year, because I started working with a coach and I was just doing some, you know, I had to get really specific about pain points and like exactly what they were working through and whatever it is. So anyways, it was a process, you know, but I feel like it just, the culmination of that process was kind of like at the end of March this year. And I had this sensation inside of like something is not quite clicking. So there was a mix of two things. One is that I started asking these questions, like what would be the most embodied like offer that I can put out there, you know, that is like a true representation of my path, right? And that was one of the questions. And then the second thing was that I grab every uh, intake form from my main clients, the ones that I, you know, like that I just have love working with. Also intake forms from like it's like pre-session forms that I pre-webinar forms that I make everyone that has registered for the launches of like of my program Rewire and Regular to 5x. Not everyone, but like I mean I send a form, you know, with like what exactly are you struggling with, how is that showing up, and all the stuff, right? So a bunch of people answered that, you know, so I grab all of those and I put them into Claude. And same with like my like intake forms of my clients, and then also client interviews, you know, like to just see the before and after, you know, because when you are so in the transformation that you create, so like connected with, you know, like your people, your thing, your messaging, and whatever it is, it's like you're almost like, imagine like you have something that is like this close to you, you know, like you cannot see it, right? Because it's just so close. We get so close to ourselves. So I just needed to just like take a step back and like understand what was going on there. And when I put these like things on Claude, you know, like I was just like, help me understand what are the main things that my people are experiencing, you know, because I was like, I feel like I need to kind of like distill the most important things that my clients go through, you know, so that my sales like processes, you know, can be more specific, you know, because as I was saying, you know, Joy, I'm so happy you love that. Welcome to the Magnet Club. I love that. Seriously. So, anyways, I was just like, okay, I need to figure this out because I need to get more specific. And in that process, you know, like the or question that I had been answered also, that I had been asking, you know, about how can I create an offer? What would be the most aligned, embodied offer or offers, you know, that really truly reflect my own transformation, right? And like my own story, that I just feel like it would be so easy to put out there because it's just so me, you know, so like me, that it's just like I am just in my people's brains because I have experiences, you know. So anyways, in that process, I like it just started spotting some patterns, and I was like, oh my god, holy shit. And then I was like, and it literally was a fucking mirror. Like it's the biggest fucking mirror of all times. All of these things, and I was like, those are these four things, you know, which is why I have been talking about the four core, the four core subconscious programs, right? These four things that Claude just connected, you know, in this analysis, were exactly the four things that I had to overcome to be able to step into this business fully, and to take it to, you know, where like I have taken it to replacing my income, like just, I mean, going full time on it and all the stuff, you know. And then looking back at each one of my clients' transformations, same thing, you know, it was just like I also started going through each of them. It's like, oh my goodness, it's the exact same thing. They had this thing, they had that other thing, whatever. Like we work on the exact same four things every single time. And several of those clients, you know, had crazy transformations where like they went from not fully, like they were showing up, like just like me. I was like showing up here, but I was still hiding, and how does that look like? It's like you show up, but there's still parts of your personality that you're not bringing forward, So people would see me here and they probably would talk to me and say, yeah, but you're like way more like, I don't know, expressive and passionate. And like, I don't know, like funny in real life. It's like, where is that personality in your like content, Like, and it's just, I mean, it's so awkward to start to talk to the camera, start talking to the camera and recording reels and doing all these different things. Like, it just requires repetition skills. And then you have such a, like, so many of us have such a fucking mind fuck inside, with like, what are my like friends gonna think? What are my like parents gonna think? What is like so and so is gonna think? What are my peers gonna think? And like all this stuff. And like, who am I to even be talking about this? Like blah, blah, blah. Because anyways, we all have our stories, right? And then it's like, oh, but it's like, I remember in the beginning of this business, like I was charging more than my main coach, and I was like, but I don't know. I think that's her problem. She's charging way too little, but that's not my problem. But it's still, even though I consciously, was on board with my price, in my body, it felt weird as fuck, It just felt uncomfortable as fuck. And I had all that, who am I to be like, working with these people and whatever it is, I literally had these thoughts like I should just send this person to my mentor, to my coach or whatever it is. It's like, who am I to be doing this type thing, So we all go through these mind fucks, even and especially, shits are getting more and more real the more you actually put yourself out there, So in the super very, very beginning of my first business, I had some holdbacks and some fears, but I was fine. I was kind of like doing the things and whatever it is. But the more and more I did the things and the more and more I experienced negative comments and like people saying things and whatever it is, I got more and more triggered into imposter syndrome, into self-doubt, into fear of what like people like commenting and like bad things and people like kind of like I was very afraid of conflict, So when anybody had like a different opinion than mine, I just didn't know what to do. It just freaking sent me into a anxiety spiral, So, and then also I had all the fucking holdbacks about like unworthiness connected to like feeling that my dreams, like that I deserve my dreams, that I deserve to be successful, And then anyways, going back to the cloud situation, like it just like showed me this thing and it was a fucking mirror. And then I freaking went into like every single one of my clients' stories. Not all of them, but like the ones that had that same profile, and I was like, this is insane. This is it. These are the 4 core things that need to shift. And the transformation that happens when that is shifted is that you become magnetic. You show up as your most authentic and unapologetic self, and selling and marketing becomes an extension of who you are because you're so fucking in love and convicted and sold on that transformation that you offer that you have no fucking choice but by fucking telling the whole world about it, because you're just like you finally see your value, the value of your past experiences, of your wisdom, of every single thing in your own life story that has gotten you to this moment, that has made you who you fucking are, and you own that and see that. And you like, and then I swear, it's like the shift is like, this is so important. Like, I need to freaking put this out there. Like, it's my freaking responsibility to tell people, that are suffering, that are struggling with this thing, that there is this solution and that I have this, like framework to take you from A to B so that you can, whatever, fill in the blank, And for that, like for my people just like the person who she's magnetic is for is the woman that knows in their heart that they have something to offer to the world. They just like feel it in their heart, and they just feel held back by all these fears, all this self-doubt, all this, who am I to be doing this? I don't feel deserving. I am afraid of what my friends, family are gonna think. every single time I freaking go to talk to the camera, I feel so fucking uncomfortable, and every time I like want to talk about my offer and actually like how much is it, I just like shrink and like my voice just goes down because it just feels uncomfortable and icky, and I don't like selling, and I have been sold to in like icky and dirty ways, and I don't want to be that person that or people think that is pushy and salesy and whatever it is, right? So She's Magnetic is for the person who knows that they have something of incredible value to put out in the world, but their internal noise, their internal holdbacks are getting in their way. And it's also for the woman who can grasp her greatness. You can sense it. You can sense that you are meant for big things. And this fucking internal bullshit is getting in your fucking way, and you are so fucking over it. Those are my people. Those are the people that She's Magnetic is perfect for. Because in this program, what I'm gonna walk these amazing, beautiful women through, is clearing those 4 core programs, and I call them, we're gonna basically go through these 4 portals of transformation. The portal number 1 has to do with how you see yourself, and it's called the reclamation. And I'm not gonna tell you all the names because it's surprise, but I'm going to tell you what happens in each one. So anyways, the first one is just reclaiming, and seeing and owning your magic, your amazingness, clearing all the, like, I don't feel good enough. Who am I to be doing this? Imposter syndrome, the self-doubt, all of that, getting it out of your system. When I say rewiring and clearing, a lot of people don't get it, but what actually happens is that you no longer feel that shit in your body. When you think it's like, who am I to wear? It's like, it doesn't even resonate with you anymore. Like that, I don't feel good enough doesn't fucking resonate with you anymore. There's nothing. You just feel like, no, like you can repeat, I don't feel good enough. And it's like, what is that? You cannot even connect with the idea that you're not good enough. It's just gone, right? And on the other side of that, you own your, like, the transformational power of your offers. You own your own path. You own the whole of who you are, right? And because of that, you are convicted in your offer, so you can sell them naturally, right? But obviously, that's not enough, because there's also the other side of things. The next portal of transformation is rewiring your relationship with visibility, like being fine, being seen, and being judged, and being like, just standing your ground and sharing your truth and your message without fear, without of like, how are people going to perceive me, and how, like, Susie from high school, what is Susie from high school going to say, and like my family and like all the stuff, right? We clear that so that when you are creating content, when you're putting yourself out there, when you're like sharing your message, you can be in such fucking like rooted, grounded state of presence and connection with what you are sharing, that you don't give 3 Fs about what anyone may think, because you feel so safe in your body and so grounded and connected in your body that you're fine with that. So that's portal of transformation number 2. Number 3 is everything that is related to worthiness, related to money, so money beliefs about deservingness, about feeling greedy for wanting more, any mind facts that you have about money that are currently holding you back from charging what your offers are worth, being fine talking about prices, being fine talking about your offers and all the stuff, all of that gone. Anything that is right now repelling money instead of attracting it, we're going to dive deep into what exactly that is and just get it out of the way. That is portal of transformation number 3, so that instead of repelling money, you can attract money and receive it and be open to receiving, so that signing clients doesn't feel like a freaking struggle, and instead you're just attracting back to you. And then portal of transformation number 4 is your relationship with selling, with marketing, with social media, with appearing on the camera, like any mind facts that you have about that, any negative thoughts. And why is this so important? I notice, because I have been coaching people about appearing and showing up on social media for years, because I was a social media manager for my business mentor, James Wetmore, and I helped him grow his Instagram account like crazy, and then I became kind of like a little of a coach reference, in his world for social media, So a lot of times I have done breakouts where like people are like, oh, but how do I do this? And how do I do that? And I can tell them all the fucking strategies all day long. And the reality is that then, like they don't do them. Why? Because they have the fucking mind fucks. And they all go back to those four things. They are all interconnected. They are all like building on each other, and the thing is that once you clear one, it makes a shift. You can like show up more unapologetically and like sell with confidence, with conviction, and own again your expertise, right? And then you shift the next one, and then you don't give an F about what people are gonna think about you, or like if people have different opinions on you, or if somebody tells you it's like, but that's not true. It's like, it's fine. That's your experience. That this is mine, like I'm just sharing my experience, right? And like what I have done with my clients, and like everybody's gonna have their own opinions, right? And then anything that is related to like money, like that maybe you're even carrying from your parents, which has happened to so many of my clients, where they are repelling money because of something that happened, like a faulty let's just say faulty subconscious connection to money, where like money was subconsciously seen as dirty, as dangerous, as not safe to have, right? All of that shit gone. And then finally, like getting right with your business, like getting right with selling, with marketing, with like all the things that you're going to have to do in order to sign more clients, increase your sales, and also expand your impact, like impact thousands with your work, right? So all of that is, she's magnetic, and it's for, again, for the woman that knows in her heart, like in her soul, that she's meant for big things, and she knows that she's playing a smaller game that she's meant to. Why? Because she's held back by all of these mind facts that I just mentioned, and most of those things are basically in those four categories. And that's it, and Reward Unregulated is like my other offer that obviously I'm going to continue to sell, but right now I'm focusing in She's Magnetic. And yeah, and that one is going to be for the people that are already scaling, that are already showing up, that are already going fast, and their nervous system is just going through all the upgrades and all the expansions and needed in order to hold more, right? So that's our transformation that I have gone through, that I also help my clients go through, and now it's divided into two offers, because this is how I can provide the best experience for these two very specific avatars, like these two specific groups of people in very specific parts of their journey. And I cannot even tell you how excited I am about this shift, even though I can tell you that this was not my plan 1 year ago when I launched Reward Regulated to 5X. I have been resisting so much the idea of having two offers. I cannot even tell you, but I think I just needed to go through a journey to realize that I was trying to throw the whole kitchen sink into one offer and just try to cater to people in two different parts of their journey, and that's just not gonna work, So yeah, this is like my own experience of realigning. That's number one. Two is like allowing and giving yourself permission to evolve, and to shift things. And also this is a clear example of how the path unfolds as you walk it. You cannot know. I could have never imagined 1 year ago that I was going to be launching this offer, and that I was going to divide Reward Regulated to 5X. It's like the path appears as you walk it, and you trying to have step from step 0 to step 10 and 20, when you just start because you're afraid of uncertainty and you're a control freak and want to know every single step, which I used to be like that, so that's why I know, but I also work with a lot of you guys, so I I know how it works, right? Anyways, and you trying to just have that certainty from the beginning is just like stopping you from just going for it. I cannot even tell you how many people I know that are not freaking taking the fucking next step that they know they should be taking, because they're trying to figure out how is it gonna work, and whether it's like, I'm like, dude, just fucking go. You're gonna figure it out on the way. There's no other way. There's shit that you will never be able to figure out in your brain, period. You're never gonna think your way and plan your way to the things that are meant to unfold in your business and in your path, and this experience that I just shared with this one offer that now became two offers, right? Two different offers. I could have not freaking, like, yeah, imagined this, so, and I'm so happy with it, so you just have to trust the unfolding, allow yourself to be guided, when things are not working exactly as you want them. It's like doesn't mean that the offer is like bad immediately, or like, oh, I should not be selling this, or maybe this is a sign that I shouldn't be going this direction. It's like, no, just take a step back. You're too close to your shit, right? Take a step back, like 10,000-foot view, and see what could be going on, and this was me. This experience that I just share is me doing that and realizing that I was, yeah, just like a little attached to having one offer only, and now I have two, and that's fine. And I'm extremely excited for the people that are meant to serve in both of them, because I just love, like, love to these two, like, yeah, two different groups of people and exactly what they're going through. I know this like inside out, like the freaking palm, like the palm of my hand, right? And it's just such a fun transformation to facilitating my clients, both of them. So that's it. This is the birth of She's Magnetic, and you're gonna hear me talk about it a lot. So yeah, like, and also, like, FYI, I am looking for 10 women who are gonna be my founding members for She's Magnetic. I am so excited about this. Like, we're gonna go deep, and we're gonna freaking clear the ish out of these four things. And I have been sharing, like, oh, this is what I have helped my clients with, and whatever it is, right? And what I want you to know is that this transformation that I create in She's Magnetic is a transformation that I also created inside of Rewire Regulator to 5X, but I was just trying to do too many things in that one, as I was saying, so I separated them. So while this is a beta, let's just say, like a founding members launch, the reality is that She's Magnetic is just simply a repackage of part, and like of part of my or offer Reward Regulated to 5X. I have created already, I have walked people through these transformations in a group setting, in a one-on-one setting, in every setting possible, so I know exactly what we're going to be doing to really, like, radically transform the people in this new space, She's Magnetic, so that they can show up in their business, market, and sell unapologetically with conviction, where, like, content creation feels easy and so aligned because you are speaking from your truth. You are sold on your own offers and on yourself in a way that makes it natural, that natural sales influential personality that you all have inside of you, comes out naturally, because you already are an amazing salesperson. You already have all the wisdom and everything within you to create the exact thing that you want, right? Nothing is missing from your character, from your personality traits, or anything like that. Maybe there's skills that you need to master, but in terms of, like, personality and all the stuff, like, you have everything within you, right? And the only thing stopping you from actually going for it is this internal bullshit that we're going to totally rewire and clear inside of She's Magnetic. And I am looking for 10 women who know in their freaking heart that they're meant for big things, for something so much bigger, a game so much bigger than the game that they're playing. They are right now playing small. You are right now playing small, and you know it. And if that's you, come on in. Slide in my DMs. Let's chat. I will tell you right away if if She's Magnetic is right for you or not. It's like I have talked about Reward Regulator to 5X way too much. Anyways, I will tell you right away. This is another thing. My superpower is that I can have a freaking 20-minute conversation with you. I can ask you all the questions that I know I need to ask you, and I know exactly what the F is holding you back and how to clear it, I have X-ray view for this shit. And it's so fun because that also allows me to create really deep and fast transformations for my clients. And that is a big piece of this container, is getting to the root of what's actually happening that is holding you back so that we can shift it. And that's it, friends. Thank you so much for coming along with me. the biggest thing takeaway that I want you to take from this is allow the path to unfold, stop controlling all the things, and get started as soon as possible, because all the things that you're trying to figure out in your head before you get started with launching a new offer or whatever it is will get figured out in the process. You cannot think your way through all of this. Impossible. So please do yourself a favor and just get started. Start walking the path, because that's the only way that things will unfold and that you will realize what needs to be done, and all the things that right now are mindfucks in your head the solutions for all of those things will appear in the path. But not if you are in the beginning of the path. You have to walk the path. So like, get started, do the thing, take action. Action creates clarity on the next steps, and just all the time take your next immediate steps. You will not know the whole path. Allow yourself to be fine with that. Master the art or science, I don't know, the art of being in uncertainty and being fine with it. That's it, friends. Love you so much. And as you know, I'm looking for those amazing 10 women that are going to be my founding members. The price for the founding members is insane. I have never done this level of transformation for that price. And I'm telling you, it's not going to be repeating. And there's only 10 spots. So excited to have you there. That's it. Bye.